one of several toxic waste dumps operated by the Department of Energy and squirreled away throughout Appalachia. This particular disposal site was designed to leverage the unique geology of the region for the discrete storage of waste. On paper, this site was composed of 8 reinforced disposal cells, each rated to hold 128 55-gallon drums of nuclear waste for a total capacity of 1,024 drums, the architecture of which was in theory supposed to be safe and reliable. However, reality proved to be a far cry from the design, as just a week after the first batch of waste was delivered, seismometers were set off when a number of the supports snapped and caused a cave-in within the facility. Following this, containment failed, and 2 inspectors were buried along with the rubble and radioactive waste barrels, resulting in Site Supervisor Wesley Wiskowski having no choice but to seal off the area and request assistance from Federal Disposal Field HEZ-21. The radioactive contamination that continued at the site and repeated refusals by the brass to provide significant medical assistance. Only 2 doctors were assigned to monitor the state of the employees, and only prodded employees with questions rather than provide medical treatment, resulted in Wiskowski going up to Washington to talk to the people in charge, suspecting that he and his men were being used as lab rats for a study on the long-term effects of radiation. Shortly afterwards, Wiskowski abruptly left and was replaced by Donald Clark, who was promoted to disposal site manager as a more pliable alternative. Clark made one mistake. He decided to go over every square inch of this facility in order to look for any deficient construction or equipment failures that could be contributing to the accidents. As expected, an extensive survey of the site confirmed that the accident in Disposal Cell 2 was caused by deficient construction materials, discerned through wooden supports that promptly started to dry rot and directly contribute to the cave-in. Clark recommended that all 7 remaining disposal cells receive metal reinforcements immediately and asked for help in cleaning up the 30 55-gallon drums of waste lost in the collapse, due to them leaching into the groundwater. Making the same mistake as his predecessor, Clark decided to drive up to Washington, D.C. to talk to his supervisor. Clark abruptly left, just like Wiskowski before him, and was replaced with Amelia Reynolds, who understood the true goals of the department by canceling all of Clark's outstanding work orders and cutting even more corners to ensure the costs were reasonable. Post-war, the site lay abandoned and infested with mutants for many years, as while the dry rot from many of the wooden supports did indeed collapse, several supports still stood as of 2102, leaving a good portion of the site accessible. Many of the waste barrels would be crushed, leaking or exposing their contents to the open air, and several mysterious barrels that had been mixed in with waste barrels would burst, spilling out super mutant body parts. A deathclaw eventually became attracted to the area, using the site as a nest. However, after the recession of the Scorched Plague in 2103, a group of scavengers led by Marion Copeland cleared the site of its previous inhabitants in an effort to mine the irradiated ore found in the site's depths, as what was intended as a disposal site became a major source of nuclear material and other raw materials.